Deciding to start recovery, that's one of the bravest things you can ever do. It can feel totally overwhelming, like you're on this incredibly difficult road all by yourself. But I want you to hear this. You are not alone. Let's talk about what that first week is really like.
And I want to be super clear here. That's not just some nice, fluffy sentiment. It's the absolute truth. The step you're taking right now requires a ton of courage. This first part, it's often the toughest, but just understanding what's happening in your body and your mind can make a world of difference. So that first week, we call it a storm for a reason. It's going to feel raw, it's going to feel confusing, and yeah, it's going to be intensely uncomfortable. But it's also the start of everything. It's necessary. It's when your body and your brain finally get to start that crucial process of healing.
So what's actually going on in your body? Well, it's a phase called acute withdrawal. Basically, your entire system is in a state of shock because it's having to figure out how to function without something it came to rely on. This isn't weakness, okay? It's a powerful biological reaction to a massive change. Physically, your nervous system is kind of haywire. It's overactive, which can cause all sorts of things like headaches, shaking, and really disrupted sleep. Now, this part is so important. If you're withdrawing from alcohol or certain types of sedatives, these symptoms can actually be medically dangerous. It is absolutely vital to have medical supervision to stay safe.
And then, of course, there's the emotional roller coaster. You might feel this spike in anxiety, get really irritable, or have these huge mood swings. That's happening because using substances actually impairs the brain's ability to regulate feelings on its own. You're not losing your mind. Your brain is just beginning to heal and relearn how to do its job.
If there's one thing you take away from all of this, please let it be this. All of that intensity, the physical pain, the emotional storm, it is a phase. It's temporary. It will not last forever. Knowing that this pain has an endpoint is one of the most powerful anchors you can have.
Okay, so we know what to expect. But the million-dollar question is, how do you actually get through it? The key is not to try to do too much. It's all about creating a sense of safety and stability when everything else feels like it's spinning.
We're talking about getting back to the absolute basics. Stay hydrated. Even just little sips of water all day make a huge difference. Don't stress about fancy meals. Simple things like broth or toast are perfect. Let your body rest, even if you can't actually sleep. And building just a simple routine around meals and bedtime can give your brain a predictable pattern to hold on to, which feels incredibly safe. Look, taking care of yourself is huge, but let's be real. Sometimes that storm of withdrawal is just too big to weather on your own. Reaching out for professional help isn't giving up. It is literally one of the strongest moves you can make for your recovery.
But you might be thinking, okay, what if I'm doing all that? I'm drinking water, I'm trying to rest, but the symptoms are still just excruciating. That's a real question a lot of people face. What do you do then?
And that's the tough reality, isn't it? When the physical and emotional pain gets that bad, the urge to just make it stop can feel overwhelming. That is the critical moment where having immediate, easy-to-access support can be a genuine lifeline. But here's the good news. There are paths to support that don't mean you have to hit pause on your entire life. Flexible outpatient detox, for instance, is designed for people who are professionals, parents, students, people who can't just check out. These programs can get you medication to relieve those awful withdrawal symptoms, sometimes really quickly, like within an hour after an evaluation. Let's kind of break that down a little. You've got traditional inpatient rehab, which is a great option, but it usually means you're isolated from your life. On the other hand, a flexible outpatient model lets you stay home, keep up with work or family, and, this is key, apply the new skills you're learning in your actual real-world environment right away. And when you look closer at some of these outpatient programs, like Recovery C&T, for example, you start to see how they're different. You might find more intimate, kind of boutique-style care in small groups, so you're not just a number. They're often set up for that immediate relief, they're in-network with insurance, and have locations that are easy to get to. All right, let's say you've navigated that initial storm, you've found your support system. Now let's talk about the good part, the healing that is right around the corner. And trust me, it often happens a lot faster than you might think. Okay, I want you to just look at this number for a second. 85%. This isn't just some random statistic. It represents a massive amount of hope, and it's based on solid data. What it means is this: for up to 85% of people, all that crushing anxiety and depression they feel in early withdrawal, it improves dramatically within just 4 weeks of stopping. Your brain has this incredible built-in ability to heal itself once the substance is out of the way. Think of the first month kind of like this. Week 1, yeah, it's a shock to the system. We've covered that. But then by week 2, for many people, the fog starts to lift. In week 3, you might feel this subtle strength coming back. And by the end of that first month, a whole new baseline for how you feel starts to take shape.
You know, one of the toughest parts of early recovery is this feeling of, who am I now? For so long, maybe your life was just about surviving. This quote right here, it changes everything. That empty space you might be feeling, it's not a void. It's a construction site. You're not just surviving anymore. You get to build.
And that's really the heart of it all, isn't it? Recovery is about choosing yourself every single day, even when it's the hardest thing to do. You are worth the effort. You are worth this brand new life you get to build.
So if you're in that first week right now, or you know you're about to be, and it just feels like it's going to be too much, please don't go it alone. Help is right there. And it can be designed to fit your life. It's confidential, and it can be immediate. On the screen is the contact info for one of those resources.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. After the storm passes, and it will pass, and the fog lifts, you're left in this quiet space where you get to decide what's next. So who are you becoming now that you finally have the freedom to build?